Okay, for example 3, they tell us that the fifth term of the arithmetic sequence is 19 and the 16th term is 24.5. Write the first 5 terms of this sequence. So we know that a sub 5 is 19, and we know then that a sub 16 is 24.5. Well, there's different ways to do this. I could set up both of those as their individual equations and try to solve for a sub 1 and then plug it back into one of the equations to solve for the common difference. That will work. Or you can use your fifth term to help you find your 16th term. But now, and I can use that formula that we used, the a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. But be careful, because before, the number we always used here was our n because we started with a sub 1. So that's why we had the n minus 1 there, okay? But on this one, we're going to use our a sub 16 here equals our a sub 5. So you could do plus. Notice now instead of n and 1, we're going to use 16 and 5 times our common difference. So I want to make sure just to point out that right here I switched it from that n and the 1 that was in my formula. Now it's a 16 and a 5 that I just plugged in. Alright, so now I can plug in different my numbers here. A sub 16 is 24.5 equals a sub 5 is 19 plus 16 minus 5 is 11d. So then just solve for d just algebraically. So subtract the 19. So 5.5 equals 11d. Divide by the 11. And we find that our common difference there is 0.5. Now once you know your common difference, you can go back in and you can say, oh, well, I can use either the a sub 5 or the a sub 16 and write an equation for that, plug in d, and then I can find that first term. So I'm going to use this formula again, but this time I'm going to be looking for the first term. So I'm going to use a sub 5 because it doesn't have a decimal. So I'm just going to plug in right now that my n is going to be 5. And I can put the 5 minus 1 there because I had 5 and I'm using the 1. Alright, so I know a sub 5 is 19 equals, I don't know a sub 1, that's what I'm after, plus 5 minus 1 is 4 times that common difference, which we said is 0.5. So then just work this out. So 19 equals a sub 1 plus 2, subtract the 2, and so we find our first term, a sub 1, is 17. Now, I have different options on how I want to do this. I found a sub 1. Now I can use my equation to find a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, and a sub 5. Or I can use the fact that my common difference is 0.5 and go from there. So I'll show you both ways. If you're going to use your formula, you know a sub 1 is, we said 17. A sub 2 then is a sub 1 using this formula from over here. Okay? A sub 2 is equal to a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times your common difference. And when you work that out, you would get 17.5. A sub 3 is your first term plus n, which is now 3 minus 1 times the common difference. Work that out and you get 18. A sub 4 then would be 17 plus, now n is 4 minus 1 times the 0.5. And you would find that it is 18.5. And then the fifth term, a sub 5, is the first term, 17 plus, now n is 5, times your common difference, which is 0.5, and you would find it's 19. And that one better be 19 because that was actually given to us. So we know then that we should have it correct since we did this. The other way would have been what they call the recursive formula. And sometimes it's easier when my numbers are small here because you could have said 2, 3, 4, 5. We're up to 5, the first 5. And since we know our first one is 17, then we just add, because it's a common difference and it's positive, so we're adding 0.5 each time, and we'd have found our 5, whoops, this was 19. We would have found our first 5 terms that way as well. It's up to you which way you use. Unless I tell you specifically, you have to use a formula or you have to use recursion.